complete outsider, paying half attention to Daily Mail headlines, that runs through her life is she's blowing up families. I mean, she seems like she's really caused a lot of problems in her husband's family. Clearly, she's gone after your family.
She lied about everything, from the story of how she married Prince Harry to how she allegedly gave birth to their children. For years, the world has been fed a perfectly polished narrative, until now, in a shocking and unrelenting exposé, Meghan Markle's half-sister Samantha Markle has stepped into the spotlight with explosive allegations that could shatter Meghan's royal fairy tale once and for all. Samantha claims Meghan never carried her own children. She says Meghan didn't marry into royalty for love, but for the crown. And most damning of all, her accusations cut straight to the very heart of Meghan's carefully constructed image.
No, we were kind of puzzled when both sides of the family were kept away from the royal wedding, and we started wondering, what's up with this? Like, why? And we started to realize, aha, when you have a wedding and people start drinking champagne at the reception, they start talking.
She claims Meghan manipulated the entire world, one carefully crafted lie at a time. And this isn't idle gossip. It's a cold, calculated dismantling of the woman behind the brand. Samantha Markle isn't whispering anymore, she's shouting. In a live interview that left even veteran journalists stunned, she wasted no time. She opened with a chilling declaration: "The Meghan you think you know never existed." According to Samantha, the public Meghan, graceful, charitable, relatable, is nothing more than a polished illusion. She described growing up with her as like watching a chameleon in action. Someone who could shift her personality, accent, and behavior depending entirely on who was in the room. Samantha went further, claiming Meghan perfected the art of mirroring powerful people, reflecting back exactly what they wanted to see to win their trust and gain their influence.
Could the motive be for keeping both sides of the family away?
That's right.
The stories would come out. So apparently, according to other journalists, we found out that there were a lot of porcupines probably told to the royals and even to Harry when they met her, and in order to cover up.
Adapting their tone, mirroring their views, and then slowly pushing herself into the spotlight. That's how Samantha describes Meghan's method. This, she insists, wasn't a woman shaped by trauma, as the media so often claims. This was a woman shaped by ambition, molded not by hardship, but by an unshakable obsession with power and influence. But nothing Samantha said hit harder than this. Meghan allegedly never carried her own children. She claimed Meghan used a surrogate for both pregnancies, all while performing a 9-month public act for the cameras. Samantha even described how Meghan wore loose-fitting outfits, sported oddly placed baby bumps, and timed her public appearances for maximum effect. It was all about the image, Samantha declared. She wanted the glowing maternity photos, the touching sympathy stories, the international headlines, but none of the real sacrifice that true motherhood demands.
You never worked for the embassy. What do you mean you only did a 5-week study program? So our Uncle Mike, who worked for the embassy, as a favor to Dad paid for a 5-week study program. Uncle Mike threw in a letter of recommendation to be kind.
She even pointed to that bizarre moment when Meghan's baby bump appeared to shift during a televised interview, a clip that went viral again. The instant Samantha's claims hit the airwaves, online investigators and royal commentators pounced on the theory, breathing new life into suspicions that had long been whispered but rarely spoken aloud. The internet erupted within hours. Hashtags like SurrogateGate and Fake Bump were trending worldwide. What was once just online chatter had exploded into a full-scale public debate, because this time, the accusation wasn't from a tabloid or an anonymous source, it was coming from family. And in perhaps her most personal revelation, Samantha claimed Meghan never truly fell in love with Harry at all.
The half-sister's daughter is. And so, with Ashley, the guidance at the time was to not have her come to our wedding.
Wow.
Firstly, yeah, wow, what a porcupine. When that happened,
she set her sights on Harry with precision, strategically, not romantically. Samantha described how Meghan immersed herself in studying the royal family, watching Princess Diana documentaries over and over, and even joking about marrying a prince long before Harry ever entered the picture. According to Samantha, Meghan didn't marry the man, she married the opportunity. She alleged that Meghan privately referred to Harry as vulnerable and broken in the wake of his mother's death, seeing him as someone who could be molded into the perfect brand partner. What the world was sold as a whirlwind, modern love story, Samantha painted as a meticulously staged production, complete with royal tears, choreographed photo ops, and carefully crafted political angles designed to cement Meghan's global image.
I just recently found out, it's really sad because Ashley and I were on talking terms. We were, I thought, bonding after not speaking for a while, even though we did speak. I wanted my kids to be raised with their grandparents because I didn't trust babysitters.
If true, that would mean the royal wedding wasn't a love story at all. It was a launch event. Samantha also claimed that Meghan's entire rags to riches backstory was pure fiction. Meghan famously told Oprah she grew up as an only child and endured a difficult upbringing. But according to Samantha, that was a calculated erasure of the very people who knew her best. She says their father, Thomas Markle, paid for private schools, covered her college tuition, and even funded acting lessons. In Samantha's account, there was no hardship. Meghan had every opportunity laid at her feet, and in return, she allegedly cut the family off completely, labeling them toxic. Samantha argued that Meghan needed to portray herself as a survivor in order to play the hero in her own carefully scripted life story.
Wheelchair, Sam, and you were going through, and you admit it, you were going through a very difficult divorce, but you always knew that your daughter was safe with her paternal grandparents.
And that was the priority. So to weaponize something so sensitive against me to lie is crazy. But here's
Samantha claimed Meghan saw real people, family, teachers, even lifelong friends as disposable if they didn't fit neatly into her rising public image. And when Meghan sits down for those emotional interviews, Samantha says it's not vulnerability, it's a performance. She rehearses everything, Samantha insisted, even alleging that Meghan's famous Oprah tears were meticulously calculated. She claimed Meghan studied Princess Diana's old interviews to perfect the art of crying without losing composure, and would often bring in lighting crews for supposedly casual recordings, so her truth always looked flawless. According to Samantha, Meghan's team screens every single question in advance and crafts responses built around empathy triggers, carefully chosen phrases designed to make audiences side with her instantly, no matter what the facts are. Samantha ended this part of the interview with a sharp warning to viewers.
My daughter seemingly was holding a grudge and feeling like I was the reason she couldn't come to the wedding.
It's as if Meghan is now trying to turn your own daughter against you.
Right. And sadly, my daughter went on and had her own life as I'd always wanted.
When you feel sorry for Meghan, you're not seeing her pain, you're seeing her strategy, Samantha warned. She didn't hold back, accusing Meghan of perfecting the art of playing the victim for profit. According to her, every time Meghan faces criticism or risk of exposure, she slips into the same routine: cry, claim trauma, and blame either the press or the palace. Samantha pointed directly to the Netflix docuseries, the Spotify deals, and the Archetypes podcast. All, she says, packaged as branded extensions of Meghan's personal grievances. In Samantha's view, Meghan isn't just telling her story, she's weaponizing it. It's a formula, Samantha explained. Paint herself as the misunderstood woman of color, vilify anyone who disagrees, and then build sympathy-driven commercial content around that image. The formula worked until now. One of the most damning moments in Samantha's interview was her breakdown of Meghan's infamous Oprah Winfrey special. While the world was glued to Meghan's tearful confessions, Samantha claimed she saw something else entirely, a well-rehearsed, deliberately deceptive script. She alleged that Meghan twisted facts and blurred timelines to suit her narrative.
And by the way, what you're saying is completely correct, Samantha, because I've spoken to lots of my own royal sources as well, and they were always very clear. They never told Meghan who to invite to her own wedding. She had full control over that. But what she wants to do is blame the courtiers so she doesn't have to.
And she threw people under the bus without a shred of remorse. Samantha pointed to glaring inconsistencies in Meghan's accounts of her royal experience, her mental health struggles, and her claims of mistreatment, none of which, she insists, match what really happened behind palace doors. She didn't tell the truth. She told the audience what they wanted to hear, Samantha said. The payoff? Global sympathy, sensational headlines, and a $100 million deal. According to Samantha, the royal family knows far more than they're ever allowed to say. She alleged that Meghan is shielded by layers of legal protection, airtight NDAs, aggressive legal threats, and media pressure, all designed to keep former staff and insiders silent. Even Samantha herself hinted that she's received legal warnings in the past when she dared to speak out against her half-sister's carefully protected image.
Her father is recovering from a stroke, literally about a 3-hour drive. I mean, could you believe that? She doesn't have a father.
No, and that was all lies too. And to suggest that at one point that they...
And the truth? Samantha claims it hasn't come out because Meghan has made sure it can't. She controls the narrative with a mix of lawsuits, intimidation, and calculated silence. And the palace, bound by centuries of tradition and diplomacy, has been unable to defend itself without risking accusations of racism or cruelty. But now, with public opinion shifting, Samantha says that silence may soon shatter. Her final blows were aimed at what Meghan allegedly did to Harry himself. She took a strong, passionate man and turned him into a lifeless echo of her own beliefs, Samantha declared. She described his steady decline, the loss of his military titles, the rift with his family, and his emotional withdrawal as the direct result of Meghan's influence. According to Samantha, Harry no longer speaks for himself. He speaks for her, through her, or not at all. And the ultimate irony? Meghan, the woman who claimed she needed rescuing from the royal institution.
Can I do that from Florida when he's in Rosarito, Mexico? I don't have telekinesis.
Yeah, because they're trying to say, just to clarify, Samantha, for people who haven't watched the horrible Boar Fest, Meghan tried to claim that someone had intercepted her father's phone, presumably you, and that you were...
Samantha declared, the world has finally caught on to the game Meghan's been playing. The cracks in her story, she said, are now far too wide to cover up. She urged people to look past the hair, the makeup, and the polished photo ops and see what's really there. A master manipulator who used a prince, a crown, and an entire country to build her own fame. As the interview went viral, support for Samantha began to surge. Even some former Meghan fans admitted the pattern. Broken relationships, dramatic exits, and constant victimhood could no longer be ignored. Samantha closed her exposé with one chilling line: she fooled the world, but not forever. Now she says the veil has lifted. And in her view, what she's revealed isn't just family drama, it's the truth Meghan has fought to keep buried.
Watched the series? Has Thomas watched so far? Because this must be incredibly hurtful to him.
No, we briefed him, but I didn't want him to watch because, like everything, it's lie upon lie upon lie. And he's been through so much, 2 heart attacks and a stroke. And she
exposed a blueprint, a carefully planned, meticulously executed climb to global fame built on emotional manipulation, severed relationships, and an unshakable need to control the narrative. From the surrogacy allegations to the claim that Meghan married Harry for power rather than love, Samantha insists these aren't the bitter ramblings of a jealous sibling. They're the observations of someone who's watched Meghan's transformation unfold up close. For years, Meghan has sold the world a story: the misunderstood duchess, the bullied outsider, the silent survivor. But Samantha's words slice through that fairy dust with surgical precision. And now, in a world finally willing to ask hard questions, one uncomfortable possibility remains. The Meghan we've been shown all this time may have never existed at all.